Okay. So again, tkʷápskej. I'm into the tkʷápskej part. Just given that it is a time of day, some of you guys still read the clock and say it still reads AM, so it's maitzkej. Yeah, whatever. Each their own. But right now, I mean, just want to give you guys heads up too that there will be no class on Friday. I will be busy on Friday, so I won't be here. So no need to log in this Friday. So giving you guys heads up now. Excuse me. And yeah, so playing around with these words here. Play around with these words here. Actually, I wanted to throw in another one there. That now we were talking about even last week, talking about patterns. And, I noticed a pattern with my students here when we're making these words here on the board. And that another one that's not that we could put on there is tkʷápx. Yeah, with the hand.
Why might you use this one, Damien?
Like I was just talking about it too earlier. It was, you could even say tkʷáptkwatat. It'd be like tkʷáptkwatat would be more like fast food. Finger foods, fast food. Like drive-through delis, deli food. Something that you use, you use your hands, like a burrito, nuggets, corn dogs, hamburgers, fries.
How about ʷaamičank? Would that work?
Like tkʷápwanwik.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Tkʷápwanwik.
Tkʷápwanwik. Raise your hand. Put your hand on top. ʷaamičank. Raise it with your hand, like tkʷápaničašank timash. Like your homework, yeah. Or ʷaamičank čáwaaluukšna. Now hold up the flag. Just use, you're holding up now. Just use your hands to hold up the flag.
Tkʷápwanwik, Damien.
Good.
Tkʷápwanwik. Tkʷápwanwik.
Hey.
Tell him to get on. We can't really hear much of what he's saying.
Oh, they can't hear you, tkʷápwaluukša.
Can you hear me now?
Hey.
Kumish in the Isuiwa, and could we use that tkʷápaničašank? And I was just telling Alekala it's not as if it would be out of place to probably say something like that. You know, tkʷápaničašank, depending on what you're, you know, telling, or, you know, to raise with your hand, whatever. tkʷápaničašank, like tkʷápaničašank, timush, or the, like a flag or whatever, like if they got a handheld flag or whatever, you know, to, you know, raise it with your hand or whatever.
Yeah, where I'd heard that was at the longhouse when someone's, if you want to say something, then say something. If not, then tkʷápwanwik.
Apáp. Oh, so there's tkʷáp is already implied within there.
Yeah.
So, in the mítičan, the tkʷápaničank.
So you would say ʷaamičank rather than ʷaamik, right? Or is this also another way to say the same thing?
So tkʷáp is that way of saying, instead of apáp, it's implied within that word tkʷáp. Tkʷápwanwik Áwna kusha. You know,
Right.
raise your hand up.
Mm-hmm. But is there a difference between using ʷaamik versus ʷaamičank? Tkʷápwanwik versus tkʷápaničašank? Could you use both in the context of telling someone to hold something up?
Again, that tkʷápwanwik by itself, raise your hand, and then the other way of so it's a command, tkʷápwanwik, and then the other way of tkʷápaničašank as a command too, in the sense of you know, to raise your hand, I guess, if you know.
So that would the chunk under that would be like fold up.
Okay.
As opposed to
Yeah, just either your hand or if you're holding, you know, depending on, I guess, if you're raising something up or whatever with your hand. Yeah. As I'm used to just saying Apáp, you know, Apáp Áwna kusha, you know, like raise your hand up, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, my understanding was tkwa is an add-on, is a prefix. So that's what makes it slightly different. Because there's a tkwa could go on, you know, right? That's where Alakalat was getting to, was that it could go on to other things. Because ʷaamik by itself is just up. ʷaamičan is upward motion.
yeah, ʷaami is up, on top, above,
High up. Yeah. Yeah, ʷaami. I've heard one of the elders on it, that old recording, ʷaamikan, talking. That was, and I used to hear that too. Áwna, wínaša, ʷaamikan. You know, so that was a way of our grandmother saying that we're going to the mountains now. You know, so that was just her way. You know, and it wasn't until I got over to Yakima that I learned the word for canoe. You know, so I was just used to ʷaami for our mountain. Yeah, high up, in other words. Twice in the tkʷá.
So then, just curious.
Yeah, because even that this wāami would just the same rate. You can also use another word too, ʷaamik, tkʷápwaluukša.
tkʷápwaluukša. tkʷápwaluukša.
Means to rise up.
tkʷápwaluukša.
Now they're raising up. They're raising the roof.
Yeah.
tkʷápwaluukša. Got that P in there.
I did. That's what happened.
So then how would you say, put your hand down?
I don't know. I don't know how to say put your hand down there. Just
tkʷáamik. tkʷáamik.
put your hand down.
tkʷáamik.
There is another verb just like ʷaami for going downwards.
mítičan.
That's miti, yeah. Mítičan, mitiao.
I'll write that down in a second. I think there is one other one though.
Only thing I remember hearing when they try to do that was chocolate. So, no. Yeah, that wasn't. It wasn't. Never. I didn't. I said I didn't. It's not there. It's just, I haven't heard it. It's just. I try to raise my hand. I always told chocolate. Don't do that. You're making more work for us. Don't say nothing.
One. mítičan. I've also seen wánwi as a command, come down to me. Implying that wánwi is a verb meaning to go downward. Damien, Fred, have you guys heard wánwi?
Yeah, that means to like coming down.
But you wouldn't use it in a context like this. Tkʷápwanwik or Tkʷápwanwik.
I don't know. I've never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that tkʷáamik had an invocation of because you have that ʷaamik in there, to tkʷáamik and raise whatever up, like tkʷámita, čáwaaluukšna, čikúuk. We're gonna raise the flag up today. It's just gonna. I'm just going by memory.
Yeah.
So, anakushki nakuna nawa nakat napa nakuna anakuna fan tkฎ washitna ana aikushna ayikan kha ananik yat kushna tkʷápaniča ami atawayashakti optaikashti amish ishtuna nami pamatni. And of course, that's a big teaching that when we're at longhouse services, especially for funerals, that we're raising the person up by our prayers and our songs, and that's one way that I've heard it that way. Just it's just that way. And when I heard something real good yesterday, listening to our elder here, and even though he doesn't sing, it's Anton, but he's really moved by the singing, and he's always spoke highly of worship, what it represents. That he's always glad that it was revived here and raised back the days when it was like dormant. Then it came back, and he was just talking about how that sometimes the singing is so in unison that it was something to see that how he was saying that, and it's like he could just get lifted up, like the song could just lift you up, and just to hear him say that for himself, what how it makes him feel. And it could quite and our trust of Tkʷápx when we open our hearts, to the songs and the crew and the Kushia and our trust of our trust ʷaamičanwik tamnana, where our hearts are being raised up, lifted up, so to speak. So it kind of has that sense of lifting too, I think, tkʷápwanwik.
Yeah, being lifted up, being picked up, raised up.
So it's not to lower something, is that right?
No, tkʷápwanwik is to raise up.
Okay, that's what I thought. Good.
Tkʷápwanwik and mashup me issue. So we answer your question.
Yeah, I appreciate the backstory on all that. And so there's just sometimes like, all right, who's gonna feed the horses today? All of a sudden when someone volunteers, then the brothers are, hey, put your hand down, man. No, we're not doing that. We did it yesterday.
Yeah. See, that's when it's a time like that would be a chocolate. we wouldn't be told to put our hand on. We'll just knock it off.
Yeah.
Chocolate. But yeah, I haven't heard the term for it. Yeah, tkʷápwanwik. What was that? That word was one word, or not Chanwik, Tkʷápwanwik.
Wánwik?
Wánwik.
Wánwik. Tough. Yeah. Getting kicked off the car.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Get pushed out.
Yeah, get out of the car.
Get out of the car. Yeah, getting pushed. Get out of here.
Wánwik.
Yeah, Wánwik. Go away.
They're big stories of people getting kicked off of cars.
Yeah, me too.
Tkʷápaničaša. Have you guys heard Tkʷápaničaša?
Okay.
It says it's another way to say put the hand down, or to sign something, or to vote on something. I'll write it down. Oops. Just looking to see if there's anything listed as being derived from this, using this prefix. But ʷaamaničaša.
So So for that to be like to indicate it as, okay, you can put your hands down now, then it would be Tkʷápaničašank, Tkʷápaničašank. So then that form, has that like a command form, they put your hand down, Tkୱାpaničašank.
ʷaamičanwik. tkʷápaničanwik. tkWápaničaša would be like.
Is there a what?
Be like.
No, it's got to be like that.
Well, when you're sitting there looking at that tkWápaničaša, would be like you're stopping someone taking a paper, like someone sliding, trying to take your paper. You put your hand down on it, you put your thumb, making a mark on the paper. Excuse me. Tkୱାpaničanwik. Yes.
Similar thing. It's a similar thing, Damien, to Tkୱାpaničanwik, but put your hand down.
I'm assuming, because even that could be told, that could even be looked at as reach down there.
Are you saying Tkୱାpaničanwik?
Well, I think I just how the word sounds. Company, how the P and the A come together on it. Tkୱାpaničanwik. Like it's tkʷáptkwatat.
Damien.
Fish.
So if like you're in a meeting and you're chairing a meeting, would you use the Tkୱାpaničaša? Or Fred? Because it says sign or vote, Tkୱାpaničaša.
That'd be chasha. That'd be like cast, like you're writing on your casting a vote on a ballot. Tkୱାpaničašank.
Not in a meeting, like on a motion.
If you're gonna have someone raise your hand on a vote, it'd be tkWáamik.
Oh.
Like you say like asking Shima Anawisha tkWáamik tkWáamik.
Okay. I don't think I have these notes.
In Iwa Timonich, na Yakma Slaman Mitimash, Kushki, raise hand, arm, vote, elect, Tkୱାpwaluukša, Mishuan and the Kushnama Nawa and Tkୱାpwaluukša.
That's in northern Umatilla.
Yeah. So many times I'll go to Auntie's reference in Itchishkin, Sinwit Yakima, Sahapin Dictionary, and see the comparisons to Tkୱାpwaluukša, for a vote, because that's pretty much how that they really have that strong. Everybody votes by hand, you know, not like how we do over here. Basically, in our elections, we vote by Timashki. Now we Tamiunka, you know, we decide by paper, you know, ballots. Kumaniku, tkʷápwaluukša, we Tamiunka. So for us to, I guess it would be
Tkʷápwaluuk.
Tkʷápwaluukša.
Yeah, tkʷápwaluukša.
Yeah, tkʷápwaluukša. Raise your hand now. Tkʷápwaluukša.
Tkʷápwaluukša I Miss Chow. Yay or nay?
Iwatuski Tkʷápwaluukša. Yeah.
Good.
Iwatuski Tkʷápwaluukša is stood up by hand votes or by voting of the hand, by raising of the hand. Iwatuski.
Puski.
Yeah, like appointed. Yeah, appointed that. Iwatuski Tkʷápwaluukša. Something like that.
Yeah, he was pointed for by the raised hand.
Yeah, raising of the hand. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Just kind of how these words kind of come together that way.
When we were at the POW this weekend, our kids have been, you know, not social. And so our youngest, we told her, stop pointing at people. And she's like, well, how do I tell you? Because she's like complimenting outfits. And she was trying to say she liked these dancers and she kept pointing. Like, you don't point. She goes, well, what do? I go, use your chin. And my mom's all, use your lips. And so it was funny because, you know, it's rude to point. So we were trying to explain to her, don't do that. But etiquette, POW etiquette, she got a little bit of it this weekend.
Yeah, Tusken.
Yeah.
Tusken Tusken. Point with your lips or your mouth.
Mouth.
Tusken Chikush. And then say, not that far.
Likely. Likely, your lips. Likely.
Oh. Likely.
Yeah.
Tusken likely.
Yeah. Is the mouth and likely. Tusken likely.
See what Timony Apáp. Oh, a different subject you were getting on now. tkʷápwanwik is when you're kissing. So that's the way Auntie has it written in here for, you know, what you use to kiss. You don't need to write that one in the
I was wondering.
Could you say that? Could you use that? Tkʷáptukskink. Don't point with your hands. Tkʷáptukskink.
I was talking earlier when we were off. You know, the elders that would tell us, and a gentleman, you mean Tuskowski, you know, with your pointing finger that you're not to point, and because tkʷápx or tkʷátima, that was their, you know, that was their, what do you call it? Limit what they would do. And so that was just a lot of our teaching in our ways. That's why it was important for us, you know, like not to point, you know, like that. So that's just a little bit of take on it. You know, when we refer to our pointing finger as tuskawas, you know, like the pointing finger. Yeah.
Yeah, counting with hands in our area is tuskaski with their just
Yeah, those count, that word is hardly being used around anymore. Tuskas or tuskaski, Bachatmat and smist. Well, smist is pretty standard, different, you know, throughout. But all the other ones, those 6, 7, 8 are getting pushed to the side with using ʷailachs, ʷaamitat. Just because it's faster to say, it's easier to say. There's nothing wrong with it.
yeah. Jonathan, it's actually it's the 7th finger. So 7. Yeah.
Tuskaski?
Tuskaski.
Okay, so with the 7th finger. With the 7th finger or just 7th finger by itself?
Oh, yeah, it's number 7. Not just 7 fingers.
It's number 7.
It's just 7.
My apologies. We'll go with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Tuskaski. Warm Springs and also along the river. That word's used.
So issue Mishimai and the Kupam Tikitamanaka, Tikitamatna and the Mishnamanaka Tuskan. You guys, when you count, instead of saying Ititamat, you guys say Tuskan to count? Yeah?
Tamat. Yeah.
Oh,
To count.
okay. I'm just curious.
Mm-hmm. And then for your students, you use ititamatlama, right?
And it just, I just kind of just, you know, just understand it as it's just a form of studying. Yeah, like study or whatever, but people that study or push the knife for ititamasha, just came like I'm also a, you know, a student / studier of the language.
Yeah, the word titama or ititama had to gain more definition rather than just count. It had to, you know, So it's a base definition. It is count, but then you also got study and read.
Yeah, I thought it was a reference to the grade levels.
No, it's just a student, a learner, studier.
Yeah, you know, that brings up another one. One time I was using that verb.
Next week. Sorry, Isu. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was using that word ʷaamik, ʷaamik, ʷaamik. And then tkʷápwanwik, he was kind of like tkʷápwanwik, you know, Tony was tkʷápwanwik. I was like, oh, just like Chiapo's school. Oh, okay. And because I was referencing learning, right? And he didn't really like our take to that word in reference to like learning about language and culture. He used wínaša. And he's because when I'm teaching you something, you are developing more tkʷa. Right now you're acquiring that knowledge, and so that's the word, not tkʷáliša. Tkʷáliša is when you're in a school learning the Chiapo way. And so I was like, huh. But tkwa, you know, is such a big word, right? If you're if you're a Tkwane, you have big wisdom, right? You've got a lot of knowledge. You could be Tkwane too, you know. Just not gonna to learn anything. Or Tkwane.
Yep. Don't know nothing. Don't know anything. That word tkwa, you know, I have a hard time with it too, you know, understanding some of the usage of it. You know, tkwa. Oh, because you know, my upbringing on that word is like, tkwa, he knows. You know, he knows how, which was, you know, I know what's being. I understand what task needs to be done and how it's done. As far as, you know, anything else, no, I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. So, yeah, it's it's very. You got to be very particular on that word, tkwa, like tkwa. Yeah, it's almost like saying that. He knows. That's a person that knows it all. He knows a lot. Tkwa, as opposed to like itidamasla. It's it could even be looked at as counting. He's counting his words. He's learning the words. He's counting them as he brings them in. Mishnamwa. That's one count. It's one phrase. It's learning. It's a count. His words are being counted. Itidamasla. Counting his words. And that's the way I look at it. Yeah, in school Islam, same thing. You know, people have their opinions on it. You know, he was an elder that had his take on it. Understandable, yeah. Not gonna be critical about it. I'd say it's his thoughts now, it's his feelings on it, on that word. But you know, and for us to have to get through to these kids, the newer generation, we have to adapt and change it just a little bit for them to understand what it is. You know, school is not taken straight from English. You know, you're a student in school. That's what they do nowadays, every day. Monday to Friday, they're in school all day. So that's what they're familiar with. That's what they're accustomed to. You know, other than how it was back in our elders' time. School was few and far between because they had their parents when they were out gathering food, fishing, digging, hunting. They were out for days at a time. They weren't out just for a Saturday and Sunday. They were out in the field living that life. It's a little bit different time, different understanding on how things are. I Pila Kast, I loved him. He was an awesome teacher. It was great to have him work up here with us for a little bit for that short time up here. To laugh around with him, joke around with him. Yeah, but that's just my opinion on how I've learned to understand these words that you can take of it as it will. Ititamak, or titamak. But then, a lot of even some of my uncles, they're what is he counting? And I said, no, he's reading. Cha. Ititamasha. Timash. He's reading the paper. Kind of looked at me kind of weird. So I explained to him, what had to be done. It's had to be changed, not changed, but added to. That this doesn't just mean count anymore. It's got to be added to another. It's got to be added. There's got to be things added to it to fit the modern society. So read. What else do we do in life? We read. We study things. He said. Then he used the word. Oh, he shook one. Said no. That just doesn't make sense because I don't know it. I don't know it. I'm learning it. It's different. There's a difference between counting and knowing. Learning and knowing. It's different. That's what the shukwa really, it's like you say, you can mean something really big and change the thought, the mentality of people around you too. Oh, always shukwa. He knows. And now some people automatically think, let's say you hear that about you or somebody else, and people are gonna go there, oh, you know all this, so they kind of get put on the spot. Oh, what's this? And what's this? What's this? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what do you mean? So, well, he said he knew, but no, I don't. I know a little bit. I know that part, but that doesn't mean I know the whole thing. That's where that word can get very, very confusing with some people. Yeah, because I've been put on the spot like that. Oh, he shook one. I'm looking around. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm learning too. I'm still learning. I'm still studying myself. I'm still learning.
Yeah, the word that we use for reading is wínaša. Wínaša. The book is ʷaamičtawas, and the library is ʷaamičank.
Oh, yeah.
And it probably stems from a time when they were just learning about what is a written form of any language, and probably observing it was like, oh, there's just all these different letters, like, oh, those are names of things in a sentence. Oh, well. And then there's a lot of them. So I guess it's, oh, ʷaamičanwik. You know, I would assume, right?
Yeah. Or things have got names. Things are named, they're labeled.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was wondering about that word too. I mean, not to jump to another one. You know, in the giveaway at the Longhouse, alakalat iyo shanam. Shatai. You know, if that's the right word, and I've thought of like, well, if it's alakalat iwanishana, right? Isn't that, which one would you use?
Well, because what that's saying is
He's naming you.
yeah, is alakalat iwanishana. He's naming you. So why?
So is it, would you prefer you Yashana? But that'd be kind of yelling at you, right? Or
Yeah, it'd be, how do you say that? What is that? What is that word? It's not tkʷápx. It's something else. It's a word. It's word for calling. It's calling you, calling on you to receive this.
And when you threw it at me like that, I went like that because I thought it was going to hit me in the face. Come on, hit me right. Yeah, man.
There's a couple words that might be in there. Mish.
How would you say that he's calling on you? Like if you're standing up there, you name out somebody and they're calling on you.
I always just say, ʷaamičank.
Okay, it's like Isu said.
That's one way.
ʷaamičank. ʷaamičank or shanam, right? ʷaamičank. Yeah. I guess that's I guess it depends on context, I guess. Because yeah, when I hear you, it's like, hey, what are you yelling at me for? What are you hollering for?
Yeah.
What are you hollering at me for? I think I've joked around about that too. So. Oh, get up there! It's hollering at you. Yeah, hurry up! They're calling you out. They're hollering at you now. Get up there. Yeah. Yes. We can call it good here on this one. And again, I'm not going to be here on Friday. I got things to attend to on Friday. But next Wednesday we'll pick up on this where we left off next Wednesday.
Kumesh.
Any questions before we go? Any questions? CC, Tichunk Ilutla? Any questions?
Ciao.
No. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you guys made it here. Thanks again, Isu, for coming on. Good to see you. And wish you all a good rest of your week. Guys, take care and kinu tamatash. Mitap kuyaw.
Kumesh.
Yeah, shamash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.